So me and Atula's in the back over there, raise your hand. Yeah. We were in our high school bio class. And our teacher, Mr. Jones, he has this game that he does. It's sort of like a Jeopardy, but to win the game or lose the game, he has these creative slides that he makes. And on each of the slides, he has photos of his students, right? I didn't make the slideshow. But he has photos from this year, past years, and many, many years back. And in one of the photos, he stopped the class and he said, this one has a celebrity in it. Does anyone know who it is? So we all did what we do best and we searched up the answer. And that celebrity was Chhavi Verg, who we later discovered was Miss New Jersey and the runner-up for Miss USA. She's an influential speaker and a model, and she lives in New York City. And when we saw that she was in Mr. Jones' classroom in one of the same seats that I could have sat in, I was like, damn, look where she is, look where I am. But all jokes aside, the first thing I did is I just looked at Atula, and Atula went right into reaching out to her, trying to find her to get her to come to this event. And I am so very happy to know she is here, and she's going to be our final keynote speaker for the event. So everyone, let's please give a huge round of applause to our final speaker tonight.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys are really making me blush. I just want to start off by saying everyone today was so incredible. I have been blown away by all the speakers, the student speakers. You guys have done such a great job. And thank you so much for organizing this and inviting me. This is truly a full circle moment for me. You know, I'm so honored to stand here in front of you all today because the message that I'm about to share is one that's very close to my heart, and it's something that I wish I would have heard when I was a student back at JP. So, I want to start off by asking everyone, does anyone know what this is? I don't know if you guys can see, but in my hands is one of my most life-changing discoveries. So recently, I found myself in Vietnam with the Warner Brothers and Discovery Channel shooting a travel documentary on Vietnam's coffee culture. Now, Vietnamese coffee is completely unlike anything I've ever had. It's rich, bold, and powerful. And the secret is the Robusta bean. So unlike the Arabica beans, which is mostly used in coffee shops here, Robusta beans have double the caffeine content. They're intense, resilient, and they thrive under harsh conditions, growing where other beans can't survive. And the result is a coffee, it's a flavor that is bold, chocolatey, and unforgettable. But here's what struck me about the Robusta beans. They don't start off ready to drink. They need to be roasted, ground, and subjected to literal fire. Yet through this process, they don't lose their essence. They become more of themselves. And this reminded me of something that I've learned time and time again. The messy middle of change is where transformation happens. Hi, my name is Chhavi Verg, and I'm a former Miss New Jersey USA, a model, an influencer, a travel host, and a JP alum. And it feels so surreal to be back here again, because this is really where it all started for me. But back when I was in high school, I had a very different and straightforward idea of success. Excel in my classes, nail the SATs, get into a top university, and land a high-paying job. That was my definition of success. But little did I know, life had a different plan for me. And when I didn't get into my dream school, I was devastated. I cried for months because it made me challenge my sense of self. It made me think, am I really enough? What I didn't realize back then was I was in the messy middle. That uncertain, uncomfortable space where everything feels like it's falling apart. the messy middle is also where the magic happens. It's where we're tested, refined, and transformed. I was first thrown into the messy middle when I was 5 years old, and my family decided to move from India to the United States. And in my new American classroom, I brought with me a lunchbox full of my mom's homemade Indian food. One day, I heard a classmate whisper, "Ew, what's that smell?" And then another one chimed in, "That looks gross." And it didn't take me long to realize that what they were referring to was my food. In that moment, I felt exposed, vulnerable, and painfully different. I went home that day and I begged my mom, "Please only pack me sandwiches like everyone else." And she agreed, on one condition, that I share my Indian food with my classmates first. Reluctantly, I went to school the next day, dreading opening my lunchbox. But when I opened it up, I found samosas and pakoras inside, my favorite. I was so excited to dig in. And then I offered some to my classmates. I noticed that curiosity replaced their judgment. They took a bite, and then they asked for seconds. And in that moment, I learned something profound. I didn't have to change or hide myself to fit in. In the messy middle of life, there are certain things that are worth holding on to, such as your values, your self-respect, and the confidence that comes from knowing your worth. Real progress begins when you can hold fast to your core values and embrace who you are, even when everything suggests that you should change. And this isn't about holding on to old patterns or ways of thinking or clinging to the past. It's about being anchored in what actually matters. Going back to the Robusta beans, even though their form changes, their essence remains the same. Coffee doesn't become any less coffee whether you have it as a latte or a cappuccino or a macchiato. Instead, it infuses its unique flavor into whatever you mix it with. We can all learn a very valuable lesson from coffee about adapting instead of losing our essence and using every trial by fire to bring out our best qualities and enhance who we are rather than letting it diminish us. A year after I graduated high school, I became Miss New Jersey USA, and then I went on to becoming first runner-up at Miss USA. And it was also around this time that I discovered a passion for a career on camera, acting, modeling, content creation. But as glamorous as this industry seemed from the outside, the reality was filled with rejection. Every no felt like a sting and a personal attack from casting, agencies, and projects. And it made me wonder again, am I enough? But after years in this space, here's what I've learned. Rejection doesn't define you, it refines you. Every no that I faced forced me to strengthen my resolve, sharpen my skills, and dig deeper into who I was. And bit by bit, my online family grew to 500,000. I signed with the top modeling agency in New York City, and I opened doors that I never imagined in high school. Just like the Robusta beans, it's those moments of failure, of rejection, of doubt, or the fires that we face that reveal our truest strengths. And when we use the heat to refine us rather than define us, we unleash a bolder, more authentic version of ourselves. So if you're facing a setback right now, just remember this. You are not failing, you are being forged. And that flavor